Hello and welcome to the Newbie Rumble 4 craft overview video. So this will be the fourth iteration of the Newbie Rumble tournament. In this first video I am going to go over our 16 contestants, have a look at their ships, introduce them, and let you know who they're by, have a poke around at them, have a look at their weapon systems, have a little bit of a look at their armor, and basically share my opinions. Maybe you'll get some insights as to how you might do in the tournament. As I mentioned, there's 16 entries this time, so I think so far it's the largest amount of entries we've had, which is great. It should be a great tournament. So let's get started. Starting from the right and going to the left, I will have a look at these ships. So the first ship off the chopping block is the Hibernia Destroyer by YetiYonga. This is quite a pleasing looking craft. I like the black and red color scheme. It's quite nice. It's got some wooden deck armor, which looks like largely metal outside layer. Not too much happening on the bottom. Some detection, some props to keep it upright. Up the top, we've got on the back what looks like some decoys and some pretty standard missile system there, which is great, and another missile system on top here, which is possibly mounted on a turret maybe. Yep, so that'll turn to face the enemy. Got some warners there, looks like possibly a Sea Whiz on the front to take out those pesky enemy torpedoes, or perhaps it may even be its main gun actually, since I don't see anything else. So yeah, I'd say these two 6-barrel APS guns are probably the main weaponry. Also another missile turret there, so quite heavily armored, and more missiles on the front. Wow, so this has got, it's going to be shooting lots and lots of missiles. There may even be Sea Whiz, I'm not sure. Anyway, we'll wait till the tournament to find out. Nice little cockpit in here, a bunch of stuff hidden away. Looks like got some shielding systems in there. And nice little door here. I wonder if you can, well maybe you can't walk in through it, but nice touch. Moving on. Second on the line, we've got the TM1 Barge by SunnyLemonade. So it's a fairly plain looking thing, but I think it may have been thrown together quickly. Nothing on the bottom. Quite plain looking. And just looks like some standard APSs on the top. Got some detections in the middle. Again, a nice little, cool little cockpit. Nice little touch. And yeah, it really is barge-like. It's quite wide and thick. And it looks like it's got a lot of air pockets, so it'll take a bit of killing to get through it all. I like the little satellite on the top. Looks nice. Always doing nice work with mimics. Yeah, not too much else to say, I don't think. So that was the TM1 Barge by SunnyLemonade. Moving along. Next up we have the Crusader class Battle Cruiser Mark III by Pixel. So looks like similar to our first entry, is largely metal all around the outside. Some big fat APSs sitting on the top. Could be a little top heavy maybe, but quite a bit of propulsion. It's quite narrow, so could be prone to tipping over once it takes some damage. I guess we'll see. An absolute ton of missiles, so I hope you've got your missile defenses in order, because if not, you might be in trouble facing this thing. Not very much detection. That could be a downfall. Detection is set to 0.5, but even with that, it can still be quite inaccurate. Not too bad looking ship. Fairly straightforward design. And looks like you can even walk inside. Oh look, another cockpit. Lovely. Loving all the cockpits, guys. Good work. And that was the Crusader class Battle Cruiser Mark III by Pixel. Moving along, and this sleek entry is called Sniper by Jeoshy. And it looks similar to last iteration's winner Satire's vehicle, with what looks like Largely, I'm guessing all the firepower is going into these APS. Got some interceptors on the top. And got some laser guiders on the sides. I'm not sure if those serve any purpose or if it's just to look cool. And on the bottom, we've got an absolute ton of look like torpedo decoys. Some nice hidden the propulsion behind some vents, so that should be extra protection. Got your passive sonar detectors and what looks like a weapons controller there, but I'm not sure why it's oh, I suppose it's for this, of course. Quite exposed, but if it's just for looks, I guess it doesn't really matter. Got some more detection there. Detection all over the place. Really nice looking design. It's got a glass backside, which is quite interesting. I suppose it's going to be pointed at the enemy. I really hope that it's not set to run away, because if it runs away and it exposes its butt to the enemy, this looks pretty volatile. It'll be interesting to see how that goes. So yeah, I guess literally only armoring the important parts. I guess the front must be where all the armor is. Fingers crossed that works out. I guess we'll see. And a Forks cockpit here with the last little bit of glass makes it look pretty cool. Very cool looking design. I like the pattern on the top. Bunch of detection on here. Hopefully it won't get blown off too easily, but we'll wait and see how that goes. Judging from its name, I'm guessing it's some sort of Alpha Strike craft, and then it will snipe its enemies before they can do anything. Moving along, we have Ugly Ship by theBoat. No, I'm not saying it's ugly, that's its name. It's called Ugly Ship, and the author is called theBoat. So, I hope that didn't confuse too many people. So I can see how it gets its name. It looks like it's like a cube with a curved bit on the front. Looks like some possibly rail assisted APS, or maybe even just rail APS sitting on the front. There's, I'm guessing that's probably its main weaponry, and two great big missiles on the top. Is it mounted on a turret or something? Oh, can't really tell. Doesn't appear to be. But, oh no, there it is. Yeah, no, it's on a turret, so it won't just shoot into itself. That's good. And a little bit of detection on the front. Not very much detection at all that I can see. Oh, got a passive sonar here that's very exposed. Sitting on a pile of bricks. A ton of props. Probably more than you need, but at least it hopefully won't sink, or it'll at least manage to control itself. And yeah, not too much to say. Fairly straightforward design. Again, I'm guessing this was probably thrown together quite quickly. And that was the Ugly Ship. By name and by nature. Okay, this next nice looking one is the FR Baneling FL by Takir. And probably looks like one of the biggest ships. Very nice color scheme. I like the painting. I like the grey and purples goes together well, and he's put in some nice fluoro lights. Very cool looking design. So we can see some propulsion here. Anything happening on the bottom? Not too much. Bit of passive sonar detection. Got what looks like a bunch of big missile interceptors, so this thing should be pretty much immune to torpedoes, provided the sonar detection, passive sonar, doesn't get blown off. Very nice looking design, very big. And we've got what looks like some detection on the back here with some missiles. And we've got these 4 turrets that are sort of facing into each other. Sorry, these 2 turrets facing into each other. And another one on the front. Not sure what the armament's going to be like. I'm not sure if I've missed something. You can see it's got some detection on the sides as well. So I guess it'll be a broadsiding craft. And, oh yep, some big fat torpedoes on the back. That's nice. It looks like I spent some decent amount of time designing this, which is quite nice. Brick armor on the bottom. What looks like metal on the sides and top. I'm guessing it'll take quite a bit of killing to kill this thing. So yeah, and oh yeah, to miss these. So yeah, it's maybe just the one big fat decoy on the front. So I assume that's to deal with any missiles that might be fired at it. Nice looking craft. I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes in battle. Okay, this ship is called A Fine Slice of American Cheddar by Awesomeness 371. You can see why from the top-down view. It sort of looks like a slice of cheese, I guess, which is what I guess what the creator's going for. As far as armament goes, you can see it's got these graduated weapons on both sides. These are casemates, I believe. Not hugely powerful on their own, but if you have enough of them, then they could very well do quite a bit of damage, I imagine. The ship almost gives me sort of almost like Star Destroyer vibes to a certain extent. But yeah, let's have a look what else there is. So it's got what look like laser warners. So presumably there'd be some anti-laser stuff in here, like smoke dispensers. Got what looks like some interceptors on the top. And a bunch of detection, all nicely hidden behind portholes. On the back, what looks like fairly standard propulsion with a bit of protection. On the bottom, you got your torpedo interceptors in there. Your passive sonar for detecting them. And looks like fairly weakly armored on the bottom, which is fair enough. You generally don't get hit from below very much. And the torpedo should be taken care of by the interceptors. Nice looking ship, nicely designed. Very interested to see how it goes in the tournament, so I guess we will soon see. Moving along, we have, you may have seen this ship once or twice before, so I think this will be the third tournament, the FSV 6 Marshal by Eternaldoom. So it was in the last one, it was the one before that. Each time it has been, design has been slightly improved. It had quite a good showing last tournament, and I'm sure it'll have a decent showing this one too. I believe most largely the same as last time, but with some improvements, some small improvements. So again, you can see it's got these two particle accelerator cannons turrets on the top, and they're quite deadly at close range. Long range not so great, but it soon gets into range and attacks. It's a semi-water skimmer type design. You've got these stabilizing fins on the sides, very pleasing aesthetically. Got your little detection tower on the top. Some cool little graphics, nicely painted, little design on the sides. Got your standard propulsion and big fat decoy on the bottom to deal with those torpedoes. Your exhaust. And yeah, and it's got these little simple weapons, which I think are partly for looks, but they're also set to as anti-munition weapons. So they will target torpedoes and missiles, and may get one or two, but generally they don't do it that much because they're not particularly strong. But it looks cool. Looks very cool. Then we have the Polar Star by Huginn. So this will be Hugginn's first entry into the Newbie Rumble, I believe. Very nice looking design, very cool looking camo paints on the bottom. It's really got that polar feel to it. We've got the ice white paint. So these cannons are diff cannons, so that means direct input feed. So there's literally the whole entirety of their turrets are contained in the top. Had a quick look at them. They're quite large, quite devastating shells, hollow point I believe. So the only downside is that it's got a really long reload time. So I believe each of these cannons, or these APS, are 0.5 rounds per minute, which basically means they shoot once every 2 minutes. But there's a lot of them, so that sort of makes up for the slow firing rate to some extent. Got a nice little From the Depths logo on the back of each of the turrets, and some detection in the middle. Each turret having its own detection, some detection on the back. Got very nice design, I think. Got your decoys on the bottom, and what looks like some what do you call those things? Hydrofoils on the bottom for possibly stabilization or possibly even lift to keep it out of the water. And another decoy type thing there. These may not even be, no, I think they're decoys. They look like they've got decoy heads on them. And on the front, more decoys, lots of decoys. Decoys everywhere. And quite a lot of props, that should help keep it stable. Props everywhere. Very nice design, very sleek, very cool. And with potentially devastatingly strong weapons. Again, this is going to be, I think, a sort of an Alpha Striker type craft where it'll shoot and then there'll be a long period where it's doing nothing while it basically reloads, and I guess sort of hoping that the first initial volley will do enough damage that it'll be able to survive until the next one. So that was the Polar Star by Huginn. Good luck. I'm sure it'll do well. We'll look forward to seeing how it fares. Moving along, we've got the Totally Normal Barge by Johno. So, interesting aesthetics to this craft. It's sort of all over the place. Sort of a bit of a triangle from the top. Very interesting shape. Got some poles on the back for some reason, and says Barge, Barge, Barge. Got some ramming blocks, which I think are banned, but I'll double check. Maybe those are mimics. If not, I may have to take those off. What else have we got? We've got, so it looks like some decoys, interceptors, not decoys, sorry. Torpedo interceptors on the bottom, standard stuff. Looks like largely a wooden base, and I won't, it looks like the armament is hidden. I won't spoil the surprise. I'll let it happen in the tournament and see what happens. But going by its name of a totally normal barge, I'm guessing it's anything but a totally normal barge, so I'll interesting to see what happens when it enters combat. And interesting design with the with this detection setup. It's got me confused. Why is it on a dual axis turret? I don't know, but I'm sure there's a reason. I'm guessing this is possibly a meme craft. I'm not sure. Either way, I'm sure it'll be entertaining. And moving along. This is the Wreckless abandoned by Blucinder. I think this is his first entry. It looks like very well armored warship type design. My gosh, there's a lot of props everywhere. That should at least mean that it will turn fast, very fast, and have quite decent forward propulsion. Got your detection on the bottom. And it looks like the main armaments has got an APS here on the front and the front and the back. It's got these side-mounted cram cannons on the sides, a heap of munition warners, some heat generating thingies, I forget what they're called, and what looks like missile interceptors on the sides. And yeah, that about covers it. Oh, not sure what this is. It's like just an exhaust. Got some standard detection on the top. Bit of detection on the turrets. Oh, and we've got some missiles on the back. Not sure if this is a turret. Yep, no, it's a turret as well, I believe. So they'll turn to face the enemy and shoot the missiles. Quite a nice looking entry. Shame it's not painted. Again, I also believe this is Blucinder's first entry into the tournament, so good luck. And be interested to see how that goes. And yeah, fingers crossed. Okay, unfortunately my computer crashed while I was recording, so I'm just going to review the last couple rather than reload them all, which takes quite a bit of effort. So the next entry After the last is the Cram God by JDog123. So as you can see, it's got this enormous cram turret on the top and little else. Got some missile interceptors on the sides. Fairly bulky entry. God, you can see where the turret well is. So it must be like a monster cannon, effectively. Some missile torpedo interceptors on the bottom. Got your detections. Props on the back. It seems like this is like a floating giant cram cannon ship. So if it manages to hit you, you can probably kiss about a quarter of your ship goodbye. If it misses though, then it's going to be a big fat nothing. So yeah, good luck, J-Dog. Don't know how that's going to go. But fingers crossed that it manages to connect at least a couple of times, because I'm sure the explosions will be very enjoyable. Other than that, got your wooden deck and your metal sides, and a bit more metal on the bottom, or possibly alloy. Got your props to keep it stable, some fins, some hydrofoils I suppose to keep it balanced. Not sure what the recoil on that cram cannon might be like. It might be pretty large, I'm not sure. Your detection on the top. And yeah, not much more to say. Nice little, I like the graphics on the top. I'm not sure if there's some meaning behind that, but looks cool. Is it IKN? Except the N's backwards. I don't know. Anyway. Moving along, we've got the Thorium class destroyer by J Cavalier 9. So a very cool looking entry. I really like the color, the cobalt blue type color. Very cool. And on the bottom we've got what looks like some decoys. And got an absolute ton of up props. So hopefully it won't sink, at least not until it runs out of materials. Some decoys to deal with those torpedoes. And you got your active sonar, I think, on the bottom. And at the top we've got this great big APS, which I presume was its main weaponry. And on each side we've got what I believe are laser turrets. A bit of detection there. Very cool little cockpit here. Very nicely designed. Very cool design. I really like this ship aesthetically. Very aesthetically pleasing. And looks good. A little stairwell up to the cockpit. And you'd have this nice little view if you were sat in here. Very cool. I really like this. I hope it does well. Looks like a fair bit of effort went into its design. Maybe a bit overkill on the up props, but overall, very, very nice. Very nice. Must have taken a while to do this nose with all the edges. Although I believe, no, is that the camo paint that gives that effect? Yeah, it must be camo paint. I need to learn how to do that one of these days because it looks really nice. So yeah, see how that goes. That was the Thorium class destroyer by J Cavalier 9. And moving along, we have the HMS Smoligan by Ironlad. So as you may see, this is a ship that is 99% mimics with just enough to keep it afloat and moving forward. So it's got some nice mimic pipes on the back, which I guess are guns, with the little mimic boat, lifeboat type thing. Some simple weapons mimics, and your detection mimics on the top. Yeah. And the AI block that sort of fused into the hull of the ship. This is I'm not sure what to say. It's a meme ship, really. Very cool, but must have taken a lot of effort to do all these mimics. Looks very nice for a a thing that is essentially a bunch of mimics thrown together. I can't imagine how much effort it must have taken to do this. Yeah, so basically it's effectively a model ship fighting giant destroyers. So don't know whether to wish it luck because, well, I think we all know how that's going to go. And second last, we have the Copper Serpent by Airpnp. Fairly straightforward design. You've got your standard battle cruiser type design, narrow, broadsider I assume. And got your wood on the bottom, bit of bricks, got some decoys, got your detection, which I'm not sure if that detection is going to get blocked by the turret or not, but I guess we'll see. Got your props on the back. Got some bunch of missiles on the top. And you got your big fat APSs, got 3 of them. So I assume that's like the main offensive arsenal of these APS guns. I haven't checked what their payload is. Got a nice little, another nice little cockpit. And some stabilizers on the side to keep it from tipping, I guess. Yep. Quite nice with the red and white color scheme. It's almost like the White Flayers color scheme from the campaign almost. Quite similar. Yep, and got some missile interceptors on the front. I like the nose, looks good. And I like this mimic work on the top here too, the little sort of radar tower type dealio, which looks good. Got your detection. Again, it's sort of blocked out the front, but I assume it's going to be broadsiding, so it probably won't be as much of an issue. More detection there, more detection there. So hopefully it won't be blinded at any point. And yep, that's the Copper Serpent. So good luck, Airpnp. See how that performs. And last but not least, we have the Bunnings Warehouse. So I think some people must be painting in fleet colors, because I think I have my fleet colors set to the White Flayers. It just occurs to me. And basically when you paint in fleet colors, you get whatever colors I assigned as the fleet colors. And I think in the tournament, they're going to just be grey, because I don't think tournament assigns fleet colors to ships. So that's unfortunate. But I believe the Bunnings Warehouse is meant to be green. So as you can see, I think this is like another kind of meme ship, which is meant to be the Bunnings Warehouse. If you're not aware, this is like an Australian hardware store. Famous for its sausage on bread that they're always selling at the front for some reason. I'm not really sure why, but it's like a popular thing in Australia. So instead of red, normally I think this would be green also. But yep, so yeah, next time you're designing a craft, make sure not to use colors 1 and 2, because those are the fleet colors and they're variable. So you need to use other colors, people. Now on the top we got a great big a great big APS. Not much else to it. Fairly simplistic design. It's like a rectangular prism. Heap of detection on the top with like a simple weapon. Some detection on the sides of the turret. Looks like it's encased in heavy armor, so should be able to take some hits. And more heavy armor on the front. Looks like it's mostly FTD here, so see how that goes. It may. I'm not too optimistic, but you know, it might have a chance against the Smoligan. And yep, that pretty much covers it for the vehicle overview. I hope this has given you some insight as to how you may perform in the tournament. Good luck to all the contestants, and I'm sure it'll be a blast. And I'll see you in the first video of the first matches video of the tournament. Good luck and goodbye.